Welcome back to another edition of Baseball for Maniacs. The Phillies scrape out a gutsy 2-1 win against the Boston Red Sox. Before we get into it, the Selly that is talked about around the world, let's do it real quick. That's so tough, my God. But basically, the story of tonight, Zack Wheeler, and he just truly ceases to amaze me every single time he gets on that bump. Of course, after the thoracic outlet syndrome surgery, we didn't know what he was going to be. At the time, we didn't know if he was ever coming back. And he looks exactly like Zack Wheeler. Sure, in the seventh, he ran into some trouble. In the eighth, they had got a hit off him. But for those 6 innings, just dominant, like quick outs. He had, I think, 16 pitches through the first 3 innings. And the book on Zack Wheeler is when he's on, you want to swing early because that fastball might be the best thing you could ever see in the at-bat. So don't really blame the Red Sox for that because it's like you, against a starting pitcher of that caliber, you have to take your shot when you can. But it was getting to a crazy degree to where they started taking more pitches. But I mean, Zack Wheeler, 7 innings, 7 1/3, 4 strikeouts because of a lot of contact, and his ERA for the season is 2.55. Like, that is crazy work to where it's like, I always expected Zack Wheeler to struggle a little bit to start, and then probably by midsummer, he'd be back to Zack Wheeler. Not even Zack Wheeler of like 25, but like probably 80%. No, he's Zack Wheeler right now, to where I don't think it's any coincidence that the Philadelphia Phillies started playing better when he made his first start in Atlanta. And then you're replacing him with Taijuan Walker, to where it's like, my God. But what I think this does for the totality of the season is if you got Zack Wheeler and Christopher Sanchez as your 1-2, you could put Sanchez 1, Wheeler 2, whatever you want to do. I'd personally give the ball to Wheeler just because he's been there, done that. So is Sanchez to a degree, but I want to start a playoff game with wheels. Those two are dominant. Sanchez has a 2.11 ERA and he struggled for, I think, starts 3 to 6 or whatever. But the thing about him is, with Sanchez, he would always get out of it to where it's like when he's dominant, there's no touching him, similar to Zack Wheeler. So I just want to get that. Like, the story of tonight is Zack Wheeler, not only for tonight, but for the longevity of the season. Like, those two guys, it is win day. Usually you have one guy in your rotation where it's win day. We have two, to where if Luzardo gets it together, Painter starting tomorrow, Nola can be efficient enough. This rotation is going to be the backbone of this whole entire baseball team. And then, of course, it wouldn't be a Phillies game without Kyle Schwarber going long ball. Fifth straight game, ties a franchise record. He is just, he's so good at baseball. He's one of the best hitters and a very good career comparison, which I feel like fits in with the series with the Boston Red Sox. He's the modern day David Ortiz. Their career trajectories are kind of similar to where it's like he's a DH. Like, I'm not worried about the age like I am with Trey Turner. We'll get into him. He's just going to mash baseballs for the next 5 years. And it was just, I mean, second at bat of the game, just hits a moonshot. Absolutely beautiful. And then Bryson Stott has an RBI double to get our second run of the game. Bryson Stott 2 for 4 today. He has been tearing the cover off of the baseball. This is the Bryson Stott I envisioned from the end of last year going into this year. He killed it in spring training, struggled mightily, but now he's finding his groove. And the offense in totality still is a problem with this team, right? We know that, to where at the trade deadline, we're going to have to get a cleanup hitter. But I think this team is still good enough to win every single series because of that starting rotation. Some of the offense struggles. Adolis Garcia went 0 for 4 today. He's weird because you look at his counting numbers and his stats, they don't really tell the whole story because he's been smoking the ball, to where I'm not too worried about him. Trey Turner is a problem. And it's like, I genuinely don't know what you do with Trey Turner because everyone's like, oh, move him out of the leadoff spot. Who are you going to put? And you could say Brandon Marsh, but he's a lefty. You could say Justin Crawford. He's a lefty. The right-handed batters on this team are just not good enough to bat leadoff, to where it's like, I think you just have to let Trey Turner try to find his way out of this, because as much as I criticize Trey Turner, he's not this bad, to where I think you just got to let it rock with him and Kyle Schwarber 2, Bryce Harper 3. Maybe put Bryce 2, Kyle Schwarber. But I wouldn't mess with that. Like, Kyle Schwarber's killing it in the 2 hole. And everyone says, well, Kyle Schwarber doesn't have a lot of RBIs. Move him down in the hole. And I get that to a degree, right? Like, I wouldn't be upset if they did that. But my philosophy is get your best hitters up to bat first, to where I would even put Kyle 1, Bryce 2, Trey 3. But with how bad Trey Turner's going, I don't think you want him in the RBI situations. But overall, when you have the starting pitching like the Philadelphia Phillies do, I don't really care. Like this team, especially in October, you can win a game 2-1 in October. It's allowed. The Dodgers did it to us. We can do it to them or whoever we face in October. And we're 20-22. Like, how quickly this has turned. Like going into week 3 of Don Mattingly, who got his 900th win as a manager in Major League Baseball. So props to him. It's just a good time to be a Philadelphia Phillies fan. And the bullpen today, Jose Alvarado. Is Jose Alvarado back? Because if Jose Alvarado is back, that is a problem for the rest of the league. If he returns to 2023 Jose Alvarado, my God, him and Duran as a lefty-righty combo, and then Kirkering, the way he's been throwing the baseball, like, that's a really good bullpen, and I expect them to add at the deadline like they always do in the sense of bullpen to where if that's rounding out into form and the starting rotation is as good as it is right now and the offense can kind of just, like, get you through, at least to the deadline to where we make an addition for a bat, which I think we will do, this team's good. The Philadelphia Phillies are a damn good baseball team. Duran came in. Was he a little shaky? Sure. He's just getting into closer situations now because he never had a rehab assignment, so everyone's wondering why is Duran in a 6-0 game, 7-2. He had to kind of just get right and pitch on scheduled days to where I have all the confidence in the world in Johan Duran to close out for the rest of the season and into October. So big win because here's the thing. They lose this game, then all the pressure's on Andrew Painter. And we do not want that right now the way he's been going. And tomorrow's going to be a huge start for him because it's very tough because we don't have anyone in AAA to kind of like fill that spot if Painter continues to struggle. However, if he does this for another 3-4 starts, we might not have a choice. And it's going to be a big start. You got Sonny Gray on the bump for the Red Sox. And I think the Phillies going to crush Sonny Gray because it's funny with the Phillies. You get a bad pitcher like Brian Bayo, who in his career, he's a good pitcher, but he's been struggling mightily. That's why they had an opener. It just was so Phillies for them to get dominated by him. And then like the Aces always dominate us. But the pitchers that are like mid but kind of good, the Phillies dominate to where I think they're going to do very well against Sonny Gray. And I think they have good stats against him in his career. If Andrew Painter can just weather the storm, 4-5 innings, 3-4 earned runs, I think that's a win because Thursday is going to be a clash of titans. Ranger Suarez versus Jesus Luzardo. Jesus Luzardo was the pitcher that the Phillies picked over Ranger. And I don't even think Ranger cares because he's so calm, cool, and collective, but he's been pitching well this season to where I could just so see him going 7 shutty against us. I think Jesus Luzardo also is a big game pitcher to where he's also going to be hearing what the Philadelphia media is saying. Oh, you picked me over Ranger. That was a mistake. I think he channels that and has a really good start. But if you win tomorrow, it does matter because, of course, you like to sweep, you win every game. But the name of this game for the rest of the season is just win series. Stack those up to where by the end of the year, you're at 90, 92, 93 wins. The Braves are playing such great baseball to where I think we've only gained a game and a half over them since we fired Topper. So I'm not even worried about the division right now. Just get in the dance, especially with that starting pitching. But man, it felt good to just get that win, get that gutsy win to where when Willie Abreu hit that ball, I thought it was like 1,000 feet, but thank God it wasn't. It was a home run in 29 of 30 ballparks. Thank God the one it wasn't was the one we were playing at. But overall, great team win. Zack Wheeler's a demon. He's unbelievable. Kyle Schwarber just continues to do Kyle Schwarber things. And that'll do it for this episode of Baseball for Maniacs. Tomorrow is the big day. Me and Ryan will be live streaming for the Phillies Red Sox game. So tune into that. And as always, go Phils.